Well, hello there. This is Chad Weber from MortgageLeadMachine.com, and I'd like to thank you for requesting the email template. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of the facts and some of the strategies that are built into this email, so that way you kind of get a better idea of what you're looking at here, why it works, and how it works. Now, every single one of us uses email in our business today. Okay, that's just a fact of life. We use email. We check it daily. We check it multiple times a day, and so do our prospects. So it's this wonderful tool for communicating with our prospects and with our customers. However, unfortunately, it's often very much underutilized. The strategies that go into converting a lead when we have either a prospect or we have somebody in our pipeline, the bottom line is we need to convert. We need to get that signature. We need to get them committing to us as their service provider. In this particular email, as well as some additional emails that follow up after this one as well, can be used to double or even triple your conversion rate. So yes, this one email, by making use of it right from the get-go, can help you convert 2 to 3 times more of your prospects into closed loans. So let's go over what's at work here and why it works. Right at the beginning of the email, here's what we're doing. We're thanking the prospect for speaking with us. Okay, this email goes out on day number 1 immediately. I try to get this email out within the first 5 to 20 minutes of speaking with that prospect. So I don't care if I've chatted with them on the phone or they've come into the office or they're a referral or where that lead came from. Regardless of where that lead came from, I want this email confirmation to go out. Why? Early in the sales process, these individuals are judging you. They're judging us, right? They want to know, they've got us under that microscope, and they're judging every little move we make to determine, is this person somebody who's going to give me good service? Is this somebody who's going to live up to my expectations? Is this person going to make the mortgage process better or worse for me? They're judging everything that you do. Fortunately and unfortunately at the same time, so I hate to talk out of both sides of my mouth here, but it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, that most loan officers have set the bar so low when it comes to service. They've set that bar so low. So that's bad for the consumer, but it's great for you in that it doesn't take much to impress the heck out of the prospect. Because the bar is so low, their expectations are so low, from everything from negative press and news and media talking about how terrible mortgage companies have been for the economy over these past 10 years and whatnot. The bar is low. So merely by sending a follow-up email immediately, that's one, thanking them for taking the time to speak with them. So we're acknowledging that they could have talked to somebody else, that they could have reached out to another mortgage company. So thank you for speaking with me. Next, we're letting them know, I hope that you found that first discussion to be beneficial. My goal from here on out is to demonstrate just how far I am willing to go in order to provide you with a low-stress home buying experience. Moving is enough work as is. No need to add to that, right? So now what we're doing is we're trying to identify some areas of pain, and we're reminding them of just how much work and how stressful buying a home can be. And we're doing that because we need to magnify that a little bit. We need them to start thinking about the fact that, hey, I need somebody who can guide me through this process in a way that's going to be preferable, low stress. So we're acknowledging that need. So in fact, instead of doing a lot of talking or typing, so we're going to insert just a little bit of humor there. We're not here to be clowns, but just a little bit of let's lighten the mood a bit. I have a couple of resources listed below that I think you should see. So now we're directing their attention. We're focusing. Here's one of the number one things that you need in a mortgage process, in a good loan officer. We need excellent communication. So now we're magnifying the pain again. The majority of the stress and frustration during a loan process is caused by subpar communication. I'm sure you would agree that it is important that you keep in the loop at all times and that your questions are answered in a timely fashion. After all, this is a large investment. Here is how I assure that you will receive the very best communication during your home buying experience. So now we're jumping in both feet first in that we're going to start providing them proof, evidence of what we say. So instead of a bunch of empty promises and hot air, we're actually going to give them links and descriptions of how we go above and beyond what the typical loan officer does. So here you see it's in bold to attract the eyes. So even if they're just scanning your email and not reading it word for word, this is going to pop out at them. I provide all of my clients with written communication guarantees. This agreement guarantees in writing, so not just words, but in writing, that you'll receive answers to your questions quickly, return calls within a specified period of time, no verbal promises, all on paper and signed by me. Here's a link to the guarantee. So I'm not just making promises. Click here and you can download my communication guarantee now. So now we're training them. We're training the prospect to take action, to do what we say. Hey, click here, click there. Now in their own mind, they're doing it because they want to. They're going, oh, that's intriguing, that's interesting. You know, yes, I've been through the process before and the communication sucked. I could never reach my loan officer, so let me see what makes this guy different. I'm going to go ahead and click here so I can see proof and evidence that this guy's different. So they click. Where does that click bring them? It brings them to your website. Preferably, at least mine did. It brought them to my website where there was a downloadable copy displayed right on the screen with the verbiage to the communication guarantee, where they could print it out and request that I sign it to get the process started. So this is just kind of a subtle nudge in the right direction. We're training them to start viewing us as a resource and to start doing what we say. It's that whole teacher-student mentality. They get used to doing what you recommend and what you say, so that when the time comes, it's, hey, sign here on the dotted line. Guess what's more likely to happen? Number 2, you need to be well informed. Next, I like to reiterate the importance of being well informed. Many lenders would prefer that you didn't do your research and just sign on the dotted line. I don't like that approach. An informed consumer is a prepared consumer. To help, I've provided some links for you. Okay, so mortgage terms you absolutely must know before buying a home. So this is a simple glossary of mortgage terms, guys. Narrowed down and filtered out from all the fluff to where it's just the terms that they really need to know. Next, 10 questions that home buyers should ask their loan officer. And then underneath that, 10 questions a loan officer should ask you if he really cares. So again, we're pointing out the fact that if your loan officer really cares about doing a good job for you and doing what's best for you, here are the types of questions that he or she should be asking. So what are we doing? What's the mentality behind this sales approach? Well, we're setting the stage. We're setting the bar. We're wanting them to remember the fact that as they talk to other loan officers that don't ask these questions, now there's that doubt in their minds. Like, yeah, you know what? That first loan officer I talked to said that this would happen, that most loan officers don't care enough to ask these questions. And I noticed this guy, or I noticed this loan officer didn't either. Maybe they really don't care. See, it's again, that gentle nudge. We're guiding them through the process, through the sales funnel, moving them to the various stages. And this is how we throw rocks at the competition without actually throwing rocks. We're not degrading to insulting the competition. No. Instead, we're informing, we're educating. So we're selling through education here. Again, not just a bunch of empty words, but rather I've already given them 4 downloads in one single email. Now, I know that most likely they won't click on all of them and download and read all of them immediately. But I don't care. It's the fact that I've provided this, whereas most other loan officers don't even bother. And if they do follow up, usually it's a 1 or 2 sentence, hey, thanks for coming in today. Here's how you reach me if you have any questions. In this case, you have taken the time to orchestrate this entire email complete with downloadable links, communication guarantees, articles, recommendations, questions, glossary of mortgage terms that they need to know. Who do you think comes out smelling like a rose here? Not the competition, but you do. So now I'm going to remind them that I have access to many more resources, but I don't want to overwhelm you by throwing a bunch of links at you today. I do recommend that you take a look at the links above. In the meantime, I will go to work preparing the information I promised you when we spoke earlier today. By my current estimates, and here's my favorite part, I should have an answer ready for you by 3 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. Now, I am way underestimating the speed at which I can respond because I want my first deadline, the first deadline that they experience with me, I want it to be far exceeded. So I'm telling them, hey, you'll probably hear from me by 3 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. But guess what? I'm going to have everything ready by 9:30, 10 o'clock a.m., maybe even this evening, depending on what time of day this communication took place. I don't want to give them an answer in like 20, 30 minutes. Because then at that point they're thinking, well, how much work did you really do? But instead of 3 p.m., they're expecting that call at 3 p.m. They're going to get it at 9 o'clock a.m., 10 o'clock a.m., 11 o'clock. I'm going to beat that estimate by a minimum of 3 or 4 hours so that they're going, wow, okay, that was quick. So now they're getting used to you over-delivering. And the second reason why I set that deadline out there is because let's say something crazy does happen and you get super, super busy putting out fires. The last thing you want to do is miss that very first deadline when they're making judgment calls about whether or not they're going to do business with you. Should you have questions in the meantime, here's how you can reach me. If I don't pick up, then chances are I'm with a client or attending a closing. If this is the case, here is how you can reach my assistant. So I always gave them 2 phone numbers to call for me. I gave them my main line, and then I gave them a phone number to my assistant so that they felt comfortable that they could reach out to me at any time, and they'd always be able to speak to a live person. Even if I'm not available, here's a backup number to speak to somebody, because most people hate leaving voicemails because they have that concern that they're not going to hear back, or at least not in a timely fashion. So let's allay those fears, put those fears to rest by giving them a backup call. And then here in my signature, now I put my actual links here to my Mortgage Lead Machine. This is my YouTube channel right here, and this is my marketing Facebook group. Now obviously you would put your own links here to your primary website or blog where they can go to get more information. A YouTube channel. People like watching videos much more than they like to read, more often than not. So why not link to some good training videos or tutorials on the mortgage process if you have such a thing? And the same thing with Facebook. See, what I'm doing here again is even in the signature, I'm forming more connections with them. I'm giving them more means of reaching out to me. So if they connect with my Facebook group, now I know their Facebook profile, and if I can't reach them by phone or email, I can always send them a message on Facebook. Same thing with YouTube. If they click to like or follow my channel, anytime I post new tutorials, they're going to get a notification on their account. So again, all we're doing here is forming more and more connections so that they're tied to you. It becomes much easier for you to reach out and stay in front of them by taking this approach. So can you see that step-by-step approach, how we've strategically arranged this email? Now, I'm not telling people to just take this word for word and just copy and paste it. You can take the elements that you like and modify those that you don't like so much, but let's not change what makes it work. And that is that we're giving usable resources, that we're not just making empty claims, but providing evidence, written evidence in the form of the communication guarantee, and so forth. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you like this template and you want to put it to use, I have a webinar coming up that I would love for you to register for. It's down beneath this video player. And during that webinar, I'm going to show you the process that I use, not just one email, but my entire sequence of emails, and not just with prospects, but also with realtors and for sale by owners. I'm going to show you the path and the process that I like to use to absolutely capture more leads, convert more leads, and get more referrals all in one fell swoop. Okay? So click below to register for that webinar, and I'll show you even more. In the meantime, I hope that you put the concepts here in this email template that I provided to you to work. The download button is above this video player for the template if you have not downloaded the email template yet, and beneath the video player is where you can register for my upcoming free training webinar workshop on follow-up and lead conversion. All right, make it a great day. I look forward to seeing you there. Again, my name is Chad Weber, mortgageleadmachine.com. Chat with you soon.